doing shows and tearing it up everywhere he goes. He's a good friend of mine. It's here for Mr. Fred Kerr.
Thanks, Dave. So I experienced my first pot check stop the other day. Anybody seen this before? The police can check our saliva for cannabis, but only if they have reasonable suspicion. So you can look forward to a totally low-tech, new kind of pot check stop. The cop just reaches in your car window with a huge bag of Doritos. Cracks them open and checks you for drool. We owe this low-tech pot check stop to the genius of Justin Trudeau. Yeah. Thank you. Now, not only did Justin legalize pot before it's possible to even detect impairment, but the only machine that the government provided the police to even check for the presence of pot has a little too much in common with a BC Department of Highways employee. That's right, neither of them works below 5 degrees Celsius. I wish I was kidding, folks. So if you always wanted to get high on the highway, let the good times roll, Calgary. There has never been a better time. You know, as I get older, I find that I'm now confused by stuff that I used to think was really simple. One of these things is just the concept of gender. I got kids. Bear with me on this. My daughter, who's 20, brought home a friend for dinner who identifies as pansexual. I was concerned about this because I worried that having a pansexual for dinner, she might end up attracted to our cookware. Call me old-fashioned, folks. My daughter said, "Oh God, Dad, for God's sake, no. That's not how it works. Listen, pansexuals are just people who are attracted to all 77 genders." Gender's also confusing in the courts. Here is a real couple of court cases that are happening right now in Canada. Sounds like a joke setup, but it's not. A lesbian walks into a Muslim barber shop and demands a man's haircut. She's turned down, so they're now in court. Now, I don't know how this is going to turn out, folks, but I always remember what my mama told me. She said, "Son, when the chips are down, don't bet against an angry lesbian." Thank you, folks, for that acknowledgement. Another true story, I'm trying to get this straight. A trans woman with male parts walks into 15 different salons and is repeatedly rejected in her quest for a scrotal wax, which coincidentally was also my favorite band in high school. The groupies were called Scroties, and the t-shirts were unbelievable. A famous feminist play called The Vagina Monologues, it's been around for 20 years, great play, recently banned from university campuses because it's not sufficiently inclusive of women who don't have vaginas. I'm going to say that again. This play is banned because it's not sufficiently inclusive of women who lack vaginas. Folks, I'm no statistician. I always assume that women without vaginas are a relatively small cohort. But I guess they must be very influential because schools are now teaching that everybody can menstruate. Everybody gets to have a period. I'm ashamed to tell you folks that in much darker, less progressive times when I was growing up, the 1870s, millions of boys just like me were denied this golden opportunity. We were robbed. If any of you folks feel cheated, come see me after the show, sign our petition. If you also agree with me that men deserve a free pass to act a little nuts once a month, join us. Join us. We are men for menstruation. Our motto is, yeah, we're a little crazy. Deal with it, bitches. This is our time. Thank you. Thank you. Tell you a little bit more about myself. Like a lot of Calgarians, I unfortunately lost my job. Yeah, thanks for the sympathy. I appreciate that. But don't you worry, I won't be unemployed for long because like our Prime Minister, I've got that Bachelor of Arts degree in literature to fall back on. Yeah. Now I can't help thinking that Canada being led by Justin's a bit like the entire country showed up to a gunfight, armed only with a selfie stick.
Yep.
Where was I going to go? I was going to tell you about my childhood. Parents signed me up for a group called Wolf Cubs. Don't know if you heard of them. Wolf Cubs are boys between the ages of 8 and 10 years old who can't do sports. So I was obviously a star candidate. Now, the Cub organization does an outstanding job preventing creepy adults from becoming leaders. They've been a lot less successful stopping satanic kids from becoming Cubs. Some of these little fuckers should just have been tasered. But the Cub leadership experience did reinforce something I think I already knew about myself, folks, which is that I am the opposite of a pedophile. I can't fucking stand other people's kids. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to give you one just quick anecdote before I leave. My girlfriend's daughter was asking us to guess what a classmate of hers named Chad had just texted to her. And so I went on the limb and said, I don't know, was it a dick pic? I just want to be plugged into what kids are doing these days. And she said, no, like not in the middle of the day. So now there's a fucking etiquette. There's a politeness and a set of rules around dick pics. Like discerning dick documentarians don't display their dongs before dusk. It's like a cocktail hour for cock close-ups. Yeah, listen, Chad. It's probably 5 o'clock somewhere. Why don't you go ahead and jam that phone down your pants and click away. You'll probably get your good side this time. Folks, that's my time. My name's Fred Kerr. I want to thank you.